This episode is brought to you by Monkey Nutrition. Now you guys have your own followings and you have your own personalities that are loosely associated with the brand, but now it's almost become a lifestyle choice to kind of be like Mimi, and it's not just hair, it's like adventures now. And so was that just a natural progression of what you guys were doing?
Well, I guess to anything, and just to say, like we're kind of moving away from the business as well. Like we're here in London. The business is staying back in Toronto. We're doing other things. We're starting a new business here in London.
Okay.
So we're kind of moving away and always growing and evolving, and we're having different interests, right? So with how it evolved, I guess really, like you said, we really kind of just always doing what we want to do, right? So how do we always kind of build, like, how do we want our life to be, right? Kind of, and I think it's really, was it Tim Ferriss that said kind of lifestyle design, right? That was this whole thing, right? And 4-hour work week was a huge inspiration, right? We started our business with the idea of doing the 4-hour work week. That was our muse, that was our business. And we did the 4-hour work week for like 2 years. And we were kind of miserable, that's another story, but we did it. And, but it was really about creating that lifestyle. And even now, it's always kind of creating that life that we want to live that will give us the maximum kind of just experience overall. Okay,
so it's a byproduct kind of everything you've created and your own personal brands. It just kind of flows along with everything you're doing.
I think it's very seamless. We never, we don't have this grand strategy or theory. And even from the beginning, we never planned on, having a large business or doing what we do now or having a large following, because we're really just, our goal at the beginning, to be honest, was to make $1,500 each. Like if I make $1,500 and Mimi makes $1,500, we make $3,000. We're happy.
On top of your credit card repayment.
Yeah, on top of the credit card.
Okay.
After because at that time, like I said, we're kind of young. We are frugal in a way. That's what I guess it teaches you when you're unemployed for 2 years. It teaches you to be frugal. Okay. And we're like, we don't need much.
So if you think back over the 4 years, what were some of the like pitfalls and some of like the great moments you had? You said you didn't enjoy the 4-hour work week for a while. Well, why was that? And
I think this is very important just for anybody listening, because I think a lot of people listen to your show. You listen to successful people, and we're always kind of, even myself, we're sold this dream, right? And like I said, once again, for me, coming from a background where we weren't rich financially, right? I was wealthy in other ways, right? I was wealthy and being grateful, right? I was wealthy for having an amazing mother and having so much love that she gave me, and kind of that self-belief that allows me to do everything I do now. And that I was wealthy in that area, but I was very poor financially. And I thought, what? Once I make money and have the American dream and have that freedom to travel, to have the time right? Not only money, but also have the time to enjoy myself and travel. I'll be
everything will be done, right?
Everything will be done. I won't have problems, right? I'll be the happiest camper around, and I have my wife. She's beautiful. We have a beautiful relationship. Like, what else do you need in life? And
obviously something else.
Yes, because Maslow's right. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and just overall how it happens. So even some of you, I guess, people watching or listening, because even now, it sounds strange, right? It's like, you must be stupid. Like, if I was in your position, I'll be the happiest guy, right? And what happened was really, it was just kind of, I think 3 months after we started the business, we planned to do the whole 4-hour work week. We bought a trip, and we said we're going to live in the south of France for like a month or something like that. So we went to live in the south of France. And then we went to Paris, and then we do these trips. We go to also Costa Rica and surf and be there for like a couple months and do kind of these whole 4-hour work week mini vacation things.
Right.
But, we missed one little formula, one little chapter in the 4-hour work week. I believe it was chapter 15. It was called Filling the Void. Because once you actually get money and once you get actually the time, there's this void that starts creeping in if you don't fill it with something. So you still have to be, as a human, as humans, I guess, we always have to be evolving and doing something and growing. The moment you just feel like, oh yeah, okay, I'm done, you're never done.
Right, because then you'll get unhappy and depressed.
Yeah, because existential crisis will just hit you over the head, and it will, especially when you have time and money, and you're not doing anything.
They find you.
You're not keeping busy. It just, there's this kind of this thing that we have as humans that keeps us pushing forward and driving forward, right?
And in one of your videos, you said if you don't challenge yourself, something will challenge you.
Life will challenge you.
Right.
It's just, and that's what just happened. Kind of, we thought we got to this point of, this is it, but it wasn't it. And life kind of started turning gray and very depressing. And we were kind of depressed for a while, I'll be honest. Like, I remember, I bought my dream car, and I had lots of money in the bank, and I thought, this is it. And then literally, I was like, what's the point of it all, right? Because these kind of questions come, like, what's the point of it all? Why am I doing this? I'm just a consumer. I'm just, okay, am I going to do this my whole life? You know?
That's got to be fascinating for people to hear, because it's not like, you had, like you said, you had time and money and a really healthy personal relationship. You're in Costa Rica surfing and you're unhappy. So it's, hard for people to comprehend, but it makes sense when you tell me about it. How do you explain it to people? Just the way you did with you needed a challenge, or you needed to evolve?
I think you
needed a higher calling? What did you need?
think you need to, once again, be observant and reevaluate kind of your life, kind of look at yourself from a different way, but see, I asked myself a very important question at that time. And I was like, when was the last time I was genuinely happy, right? Because I thought I was happy if I'm going to be traveling and seeing the world and having adventures or whatever. But when I asked myself that question, I'm like, you know what? I was genuinely happy when I was just broke and we're starting the business and we're having ideas and we're working like 10, 12, 14-hour days and just putting all of our hearts into making this business happen, right? Because even before the 4-hour work week, right, you have those crazy 12, 10, whatever, like hour days,
right,
and weeks of go on like numerous hours. We're just working nonstop. But I thought, that challenge, that kind of making idea real really invigorated me. And also kind of doing something, trying to create something. So I thought, we need to do something like that. And at the same time, we need to do something of course, once again, of value, to give people value and of higher calling. It's kind of, I don't know, it's natural, I guess, in a way of...
It's good you identified it, though, because a lot of people don't, and a lot of people go the wrong way.
Or they keep buying stuff. They're like, okay, this car I bought, but maybe it's not the wrong car. Maybe I need a Bentley. Or maybe I need a bigger house. Or maybe I need like a jet. Or this guy has more than me. And you get
or a mistress, or a better cocaine dealer, or and a lot of...
Exactly. Yeah. So I didn't go into that rabbit hole and I was, once again, really grateful for that, because... And I think it is kind of that, because we were, I don't know what happened, but I'm really grateful that we kind of realized quickly that kind of just physical things or monetary things really didn't kind of do it. It's still,
It's a big realization to have, in your 20s.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, especially when you've been cashed in on that American dream, which it hits us in so many ways when you're young. I mean, you moved to Canada when you were 10?
Yeah, I was
from
10,
Russia?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's in the media, it's in the movies, it's everything, and it's telling you what's going to make you happy subliminally. And even when you're smart and on your game and meditating, it'll still get you.
Yeah. If you live in the cities, if you live in London, New York, Toronto, whatever, San Francisco, and you're still in the consumer culture, you're part of it. You're driven by it. And I'm not saying I'm not now. I'm like this monk and whatever. But I'm still aware of it. I still enjoy the better things in life, let's say. But I don't take them seriously.
This week on London Real, former MI5 intelligence officer turned whistleblower, Annie Michon.
What we're looking at now is a de facto police state. All the laws are in place, they're just not being applied to most citizens yet. I think it's not a case of having anything to hide, it's having a case that I have a right to privacy, and I can't guarantee my government will uphold that right, therefore I need to take the steps to do it.
She talks NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden.
He would die for his country. He wants to try and improve the way his country operates within its own boundaries and protect its citizens. And we seem to forget and think that human rights are a luxury. They're not, they're fundamental, and privacy is one of them.
On Sunday, London Real presents Annie Michon, whistleblower.
So it's a very British mess. is the short answer.